How's it going, everybody? I had a question about shocks, how to put them together, how to set stroke, what the options are with shocks, and just want to go over some basics with you. Obviously, you have your ball cup, which screws onto the end of your shock, which builds your end here, which snaps on your car. You've got the top cup that snaps on. You've got the shock body. We've got the shaft, and obviously you got your spring. Now, the way this works, the shaft has a lot to do with how the shock works, obviously. It's probably the most important thing. You've got your O-rings, you've got a black O-ring, and you've got a clear O-ring. Your clear O-ring is going to be your 5011. Your black O-ring is going to be your 5005. What's the difference in the two? A stock car is going to come with the 5011. It's some type of, I want to say it's rubber. It feels like a silicone ring or something to me. And honestly, most of my cars, I will leave the front shocks just like they are. I just make sure that they're not moving, that they're straight up. All I do is go in and set the stroke, and I leave those alone. The rear shocks, like I said before, I love the aluminum shocks on the back because I can adjust them with my finger. I can take my finger and just roll this, move it up and down, add wedge, take wedge out, de-wedge it, whatever I need to do. You see I have a black O-ring here. I do run black O-rings on the rear just to slow it down just a little bit. I think the black O-ring's a little larger than the other. I'm not sure though. I can't prove it. They say they're the same size. But anyway, that's really preference. I run blacks on the back. This is probably the most important thing about the shocks. Now you're going to take something like ball butter. I use it for everything. I'll go in and put a little bit on the shaft, and then I'll put it into my body and just work it. I'll get it where it's just super, super, super smooth. And I mean, you don't feel anything grabbing. Like when I pull the shaft a little bit up and down, there's no grabbing at all. That's what you really want. You want that thing just to be basically a guide, a super smooth guide. Right, then you want to put your ball cup end on, a little small piece. You want to screw it onto the threads at the bottom of that shaft. Once you get those on there, it should look like this. All right, and when you look into the top of the shaft, you can still see where your screwdriver would go in there. It's standard. Now I've got I think it's a 5/64. I think you can get it from Harbor Freight if you're looking for them. But they come in a set. There you go. Some Pittsburghs. Basically just pull your shaft up and put your screwdriver in. And there you go. You got you spin the end there. I've got control of it. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to turn it around here. All right, now that I've got that under control, I can turn this ball back and forth. When I turn it to the right, obviously it's going in. When I turn it to the left, it's going out. And you see, you can turn it too far. So I've turned it there. You can see the shiny part. That is the shaft poking through the cup. So that tells me I'm probably below a 240, and I'll show you what that means. When you drop into about a 240 to 245, you're usually going to break that ball cup. And I'll show you what you're going to do with your calipers. Set those to 0. And what we can do is we come in here and check it. See what this stroke would be. All right, so that stroke is showing a 255. So I probably was down in the 40s. 255, that's something you'd probably want to run on the front. And so you can just take it and spin it in, put one turn in it, and you can come back and check it. What you want to do is you try to start off with everything pretty even. So I'm down in the 240s there. At a 240, like I said, you're going to start seeing that thing show through your ball cup there. And it's not going to want to snap on very good. Just as I say, you always want to have a basic idea of what you want to do when you get to the track. So what I'll do is I'll usually set my cars around 250 in the front, and I'll set the rears around 265. It's just, and it's going to take a while to actually explain what you could do with cross and all that kind of stuff. But just know that when you lift off the gas, the longer the rear shocks, the farther the car can travel forward, which is going to load the front end, make the car turn a little harder. Same thing with the front. You make theirs a little longer when you stand on the gas. It's stand on the gas, you pull your trigger, it's going to throw the weight to the rear, lift the front end up, and it's going to load those rear tires. If you get too far extreme either way, it's actually counterproductive. It does basically the opposite. Too much roll to the rear could spin you out, cause the car to roll to the right and pick the left rear up. I mean, all sorts of things. But you just want to keep the stroke pretty within the ballpark. Like I say, if you were to start with a 255 on the front and a 265 on the rear, the car's going to be pretty good. Now, when you start really digging into your setups, then you'll start going, okay, I want to play with a little shorter stroke on the left front, just to tie the front end down a little bit to make the car go in the corner. I want the left front to be a little lower. That way it'll be dead even through the center. I mean, you can get way out there in the weeds with this stuff, but that's how you're going to set your stroke. And like I say, just start with a 255, 265 on the rear and just see where the car goes. A lot of the stock cars I've been checking straight out the box are pretty close to where you want to be. So before you go playing with your shocks, try what's stock. Try what they got there, because they actually drive pretty well. And if you have any more questions about this, just give me a shout. If you use ball butter or would like to try ball butter, just contact me. I can get a hold of some for you. Some folks use green slime in their shocks. I've seen people use all sorts of things, but I know a lot of really good racers that use green slime. They'll just rub it on the shaft and put it in there. They don't fill the whole body up. And same with this stuff. I just put a little bit on the shaft. But like I said, I build the entire rear ends, lightning rod rear ends with that. I run up my shocks, I run up my bearings, anything I can use it for. But anyway, I know it went a little long, but I just wanted to show you basically what you need to do. And let's get out in the race and have a good time with these 1RC cars. Have a good day.